Well, for those hoping to get into the real estate market, it's getting much harder as prices in Greater Vancouver continue to soar. What can a buyer seller do in such a hot market? For some advice, we're joined now by real estate advisor Adil Dinani. Hello, nice to see you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for having me.
So we saw those numbers out this morning from Royal LePage talking about the price of $1.1 million and prices surging in Vancouver, Richmond, Coquitlam, Burnaby. It's pretty well everywhere it goes. So when you deal with clients, what's the first question you get asked on both sides if you're a seller and a buyer?
Sure. Well, as you know, the report was just released yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're seeing double-digit increases across the board in the detached market. These are really uncharted waters for a lot of the buyers who are entering the market. Right. The conversation and increases have really been taking place in the last year in the single-family detached market. But now we're seeing a shift into condominiums and townhouses.
Well, because people can't afford houses.
Yeah, it's naturally due to affordability.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing more buyers entering that part of the segment, and we're seeing a lot of demand and growth taking place in condominiums and townhouses.
Is it still a good time for people to put their house on the market, or is it a good time to wait until, because I know if you're selling your house, you obviously want to, sell for something big and then hopefully move into something.
Sure.
But that's the problem, right?
Sure.
So is it kind of a double-edged sword? Do you put it on now and hopefully you can find something, or do you wait till prices sort of stabilize and try to do it then?
So we're still in an upward trend on prices, and what's happening is a lot of people that are deciding to either move down in the market or move up in the market. The ones that are moving down in the market are benefiting from this equity transfer.
Right.
They're selling their potentially mortgage-free single-family home, and they're downsizing into a condominium. So there's that transfer taking place, and they're benefiting from the uptick in prices over the last couple of years.
Yeah. So when is this going to end?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that's the question you get asked all the time. When is this going to end? And as you said, we're still seeing the increases right now. So we're still looking, maybe into 2017.
Right. So that question is a question we get all the time.
Yeah.
And so my angle on that and our take on that is, price increases are generally, aligned with lower interest rates. And, with everything that's happening globally with a lower price of oil, we expect interest rates to stay lower for longer. Right. So that'll keep the market supported. The part of the equation that could change is a change in supply levels. There's a big imbalance right now between demand and supply.
Right.
There's a saying that goes, the cure for high prices is high prices. So at some point, prices reach a level where sellers decide to take advantage of it and put their homes on the market. Developers decide to bring more product onto the market. So this will create more of a stabilizing effect on the market, and I think will be welcomed by buyers when there's more options.
If you're someone trying to get into the market, and we've talked about how unaffordable it seems, what's the best advice you can give to someone who wants to start getting into the market? Whether or not they're single or they're family with kids, what's the best advice you can give to someone?
So there are a lot of great things happening in different municipalities across Greater Vancouver. So the first thing you need to do is align yourself with a great realtor who has their finger on the pulse of the market. That's the first thing. The second thing is create a realistic list of things that you value as a home buyer. Right. And realize that as the search evolves, these requirements may need to be adjusted. Right. And then lastly, be open-minded to municipalities, further east, because there are a lot of wonderful things happening. For example, in the Tri-Cities, we're seeing it benefit from the implementation of the Evergreen Line, and we're seeing a lot of great developments taking place, in the Coquitlam area and further east.
So don't say I'm living in Burnaby and nowhere else.
Yeah. Have some flexibility.
Exactly. All right. Well, good stuff. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.